Hi everyone. So in today's video, I would love to talk about my experience as a nanny in Hong Kong. So that to those of you who are there already and thinking that you cannot do it anymore, that you want to go back home because you're experiencing the worst days of your life, or to those of you who are trying or who are considering to apply to go work there. It doesn't matter if it is Hong Kong or Singapore or anywhere you wanted to go. Uh, Hear me out because I have some tips for you. So, I had more than 4 years of experience in Hong Kong, and boy, oh boy, I'm not gonna lie, it was the worst days of my life. I got two employers. First employer was stay-in, and then it was very unfortunate that my second employer was stay-in as well. So every day it was bad. Uh, Stay-in, as we all know, is somebody who stays at home and watchdog you, especially to the mistakes that you do, and that's what exactly my past two employers did it to me. So uh, on the on days that are really bad and I'm so tired and I don't have energy anymore. I'm I thought so many times that I'm ready to terminate the contract and go back home, but what was holding me back is or was the money that I used. We all know that in order to work overseas, we have to have money because agency for sure agency fee is very expensive. So my first employer, uh, very different from my second employer, although both of them are staying. But then so here's the thing. We lived in a very tiny apartment, only two bedrooms. So she got two boys. So the two boys and I slept in a small bedroom. The older one slept in a on the upper deck, then the younger one slept on the lower deck, and I slept on a pull-out bed. So if two of those two were sick, who takes care of them? It's me. And no matter how late I sleep, then I still need to wake up at the same time in the morning. Otherwise, I will be in trouble. I did not have any privacy at all. And every time, if it is my day off, I can tell that she goes there on the drawers where I put my clothes and check on everything because boy oh boy she was very suspicious on everything. She thinks that I'm stealing their stuff. So what I do is I would fold my clothes in a certain way before I go out, and then when I come back and check it, if it is messed up, then that's how I know that she went there and checked it. And exactly every time I checked it, my clothes are not on the same position. So yeah, cleaning the house. Uh, I clean the house 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and at nighttime. Uh, I mop the floor. I have we got a floor mop, but I need to use my hands. I have to kneel down on the floor and then uh, mop the floor with a rag. And yeah, mine is got actually calluses for imagine 2 years kneeling on the floor 3 times a day. Yes, mine is got calluses. Um, Washing clothes is another one. We got washing machine, but most of the clothes she wanted me to hand wash it. Uh, in winter, all of this part were bleeding because of constant touching of water and constant washing of clothes. I am not allowed to wash my clothes whenever I want it. I have to wash my clothes once a week, and I'm not allowed to use the washing machine either. So I'm only allowed to wash my clothes during nighttime after I am done with my work, which is 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning. So I wash it in the tub, let it drip there, and we all know that when we hang, or we used to, I don't know now, but during my time we used to hang the clothes by the window so that it will dry faster. But for my clothes, she didn't want me to do that. But my trick was, every time she goes out, because we lived in the 38th floor, I would go look down by the window and see if she really went out. And if I saw her walking away from the building, then I quickly go hang my clothes by the window to uh, get some air so that it will dry faster, so that I have clothes to wear. Otherwise, what would I wear? You gotta do what you need to do, right? Um, the other thing is food, and it is a very, very big deal to everybody. It's very unfortunate that some employers don't give enough food, and that was exactly my case. Um, Dinner, it's the heaviest meal for them, and I cook one, two, three, most of the time, 3 to 4 kinds of dishes. But while cooking, I'm not allowed to taste it. So she would go there and taste it, and if she says, I need more salt, then I would. One time when she caught me tasting it, I was in very, very big trouble. So I cook the food, put it on the table, and do I get food? Eh, it depends. So here's the setup for dinner. I would serve them all the dinner. They would sit down on the table, and I would go back in the kitchen, stand up there, and wait if she will give me food or not. Sometimes she gave me less. Sometimes she gave me more if her mood is kind of okay. And sometimes nothing. I mean nothing, especially when I made a mistake. Uh, that's why most of the time I cried at nighttime, thinking of all the things that could possibly be done if I will just terminate the contract and go back home. But what would hold me back was the money that I borrowed. So it was like, if I terminate the contract and I go home, then what would I do? Where would I get the money to pay? So yeah, I had a little bit more patience until one time I hit my breaking point. I said that, okay, my debts were paid. I cannot do this anymore. I wrote a letter of termination and I gave it to her. I said to her on my letter, I'm very sorry that I cannot meet your standards, that I wanted to terminate the contract. Uh, she did not say any single word. She just got the letter. And then the following day, she said, we needed to talk. And I thought that she will say, okay, let's terminate the contract. But that was not the case. She told me that I should finish the contract so that if I ever decided to find another employer, then it would be easier for me, which is true. She has a good point for that. So I thought that probably she will change. Uh, she changed for 2 or 3 days, but after that, she went back to normal. So, yeah, I finished the contract, and then she said that if I wanted to renew the contract and I was very surprised, but I said no. So I thought that my second employer would be better, but then it's not. She was staying too, but the difference is food was not a problem, not like my first employer. But then same kind of thinking when it comes to their stuff. She thinks that I'm stealing their stuff. That one day she said that her ring, diamond ring, was missing and she couldn't find it, and it was missing when I went there. So I said to her, I did not get your ring. Maybe you just misplaced it. But then she insisted that I got the ring. So do you know what I did? I said, probably it's better for me and better for you to call the police, and then they will do handprints. If they will find handprints on where you put that ring, probably you have an evidence. But if they did not trace a handprint from me, then what does it mean? So she said that maybe I will give it a day or two. I will try to find it. And boy, oh boy, it was like hell every day. Uh, so yeah, there's lots and lots of different stories of nannies. It's some nannies, they are very lucky to have a very good employer, but like what I said, employers are not all the same. Like for we only have one day off, but for my first employer and second employer, I have to work before I leave the house on my day off. And nighttime I have curfew, and still when I go back home, I still need to do work. Sometimes I feel jealous because my friends would enjoy their day off and then they don't have curfew and then they would still hang out. But for me, I have to watch the clock so that I will not get late, because if I get late, then I am in trouble. So, yeah, to those of you who are thinking that you cannot do it anymore, you can do it. Have a little bit more patience, and you know what? You were able to have that courage to go there. I am pretty sure you can do it. But there is an exemption. If they are harming you, then that's a different story. Uh, because I've heard some of the stories that their employer do not only verbal abuse but physical abuse. My employer used to do this on my head, but aside from that, it's on all verbal abuse. So uh, I was able to take it. So, like what I said, have a little bit more patience. You can do this, okay? So, stay safe and leave any comment on the comment section below if you have any comments, or yeah, or you can even share your stories. And yeah, and I would love to chat. So cheers, and take care.